I'm doing it again. Trying to adjust these sound settings, but it's just not working. I think I've got it maxed out, so I have to be like right here on top of the microphone to get the full effect. I reviewed some videos and it doesn't quite come out right. Like I'm listening to something and then it rolls into something I did and it sounds half as quiet. But I think we're good. Oh yeah, yeah. You can tell by the music, can't you? And the edit info, I guess. The title. Here we go. I'm tiny. There we go. All right, we're gonna push the boundaries of this PC once again. Play some graphic-intensive games. It's the remake of the old Flash classic, A Case of Crabs. The edition. Who doesn't like some rehashed crabs?
It was a cold
Just
Thursday
butter.
in January. The kind of cold that chills passions, freezes hope, and turns the local stray tabby into a catsicle.
I kinda mean he dies
Kind of
there.
cold that keeps the clients away. That's why I was so startled.
That my air conditioner was
Opportunity
on.
kicked in my door and ushered in a salesman. A salesman who was selling murder.
It's like just a statue of a
A
detective at his
shellfish.
window.
Shellfish and murder.
A very shellfish murderer. One shiny
Are
barnacle.
you Nick Bounty?
Oh my god, he talks like that.
Goodness, I've found you. My name is Arthur Griffin. I sell fresh crabs. I just thought you'd like to know that...
That I decided not to boot up properly this morning.
Well, that was rude.
Okay, that's probably the second funniest death I've ever seen in a detective game. There was this one, I believe it was called Blue Toad Murder Mysteries. And you're talking to someone. You're in the middle of the game. And this person gets shot. And it's very, like, kiddish, like, really cartoony. Almost like old PC game cartoon. Well, it probably was an old PC game. But it's like the characters are really, like, bubbly and, like misshapen CG simplified characters, and you just hear a gunshot, and this guy goes "oh" and dies in front of you, and as the detective, your character just sort of looks back and forth, and the scene kind of ends there, and then the mystery is, well, what happened to this guy who was shot in front of you? But it's the comedic timing of it is so perfect, and it wasn't meant to be that way, and now we've done it again. So there's a knife in this guy's back, and we don't know who put it there. Oh, I thought the knife was named Arthur for a minute. All right, well, let's look at the important stuff.
Dogs playing pinochle. Nice.
Well, I do like pina coladas. Pina coladas. I don't actually drink pina coladas. Dying plant, couple of... Oh, wait. Books. Check them out.
The fearsome pig people of Paraguay.
Is that H.P. Lovecraft?
Tales of the Odd comic books. Fish Stories by Ron Algar Watt. 500 easy steps to fingerprinting. The unabridged version. Step 1. Evaluate the scene according to code number blah, 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 blah.
So my question...
This seems needlessly elaborate.
And yet we took the book. Okay, well, that's going to come in handy somewhere. It seems to me that if you had an abridged version of a 500-step book, you'd be missing a few steps. He has a library card. Did he steal all those books?
It's my expired library card. The back is totally blank.
Oh, we're going to make a false ID, aren't we?
Ah, what a view.
All right, body. Hello there, crab.
Little Krabby. I think I'll call you Herbie.
Haha, get it? Herbie the crab.
I hear when crabs get mad, they spit. I better keep him in my pocket for now, where he'll be nice and cozy.
Well, that was needlessly setting me up for a puzzle later on.
This crate came from the Shiny Barnacle Shipping Company over on the south side. I should check it out.
Southside. Represent. I'll be taking this.
Sturdy.
He did take it.
Cut through a
He
tin
took
can
it.
with this and still cut tomatoes with ease.
This is an active crime
Otherwise,
scene,
it's pretty
buddy.
plain.
I like the libertarian cut of your jib, sir.
He's dead, all right. Dead as Pauly Shore's career. This sucks.
Was,
Like Pauly Shore himself.
There's 3 ways that could be taken, and Pauly Shore took it at least 2 of them. Okay, I think we've done... What is this? Oh, this is our tab. Knife. Let's cut a little piece off of him and taste him and see if we can define where he's been. Might want to put a bullet in him just to make sure the job is finished. Alright.
I only had one clue to go on, but it was a hot one. Hot enough to melt Chris Hemsworth. Not the real Chris Hemsworth, of course, the one in the Wax Museum. Real people don't melt. That'd be gross.
Real people do melt. You're just not putting the fire high enough. Alright. Which destination do we want to approach? The one we're at? Oh, yeah, we're going to Shiny Barnacle. Live squid. It's the guy from Kung Fu Hustle. And his name is Bill.
These are just like the ones that Arthur brought into my office.
Boxes? These boxes are just like boxes.
It's all slimy and stuff.
And then there's the squid.
Ooh, spongy. I'll just take one.
Sponge thief!
Nice bucket.
Yeah, I wouldn't answer that either. Oh, we missing anything? Alright, let's talk to Bill.
Hey, you.
Get out of here, kid. No free barnacles today. Why don't you try the penny arcade or something?
Hey, man, this is serious. Damn it, he barely even looked at me. He's too busy doing something.
Help yourself to a sea sponge, though. Let's see. Do we have anything we could... Let's see. Complicated book on fingerprinting. Let's show him the crab.
Hey, you.
That did nothing. Shoot him? Let's ask him about the sea sponge. Alright, Bill is useless to us. What's this, a settings menu? Save load options, quit to main. Back. Do. Well, if we're forgetting something, we'll find out later. Are we gonna call the cops? Glad you solved the case, Nick, but this corpse has been here for 4 days. He doesn't have a phone. He has the poster of the dogs playing Pinochle, but no phone. Alright, fingerprints. Maybe we'll just, Oh, we need ink. The squid. We need ink from the squid. We're going back to get ink from the squid. I understand now. I guess I didn't understand. Let's investigate again.
It's all slimy and stuff.
Do I have to read the book? This game should make you read the whole book.
It's all slimy and stuff.
That should be my new phone ringer. Okay. We're not getting ink that way. Back to the office. Oh, fingerprint, knife. Oh, okay. This makes no sense, but alright.
There we go. I cut it down to a 5-step leaflet.
Oh my god.
Step 1, make sure the victim has hands.
Wait, why are we fingerprinting the victim? We want fingerprints off the knife. Alright, he has hands.
Check. The victim has hands. Step 2, get an ink pad.
Alright. Let's try to do this again. Do, 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 do.
It's all slimy and stuff. These are just like the ones that Arthur brought into my office. It's all slimy and stuff.
Make for me an ink pad.
Hey, this squid is afraid of the crab.
Oh. Oh, is it that time? Are we going into myopic twink mode? I am going to make buttons for that. I'm going to pin them on my bag. Oh, I missed what the squid was doing. Let's try this again. Oh, there's the squid ink. Sponge it up.
Hey, this makes a pretty good ink pad.
Anytime, anytime.
Step 3, swab the victim's finger with ink.
Yes, I laughed about that all week.
There, I did it. Step 4, press the finger firmly against the fingerprint card.
Or an old unused library card. Inky hands.
There, now my old library card has a fingerprint on the back.
And you're implicated in a murder.
Enjoy
Congratulations,
the
Nick.
satisfaction of a job well done. Okay.
He looks like a toddler in a trench coat. You left an impression like the inky impression of a dead man's hand on a library card. Which is now an appropriate metaphor, because that's just what we did. What is our next step? What are we even going to compare this fingerprint with?
There's ink all over it. Yep, still dead.
And we're not going to do anything about that. He's going to stay dead. And we're going to stay a horrible, horrible detective. Have you seen this fingerprint? Seriously, this is the only new thing we have. I don't know what to do now.
That's a waste of good bullets.
Well, at least there's a dialogue line for it. I don't have any channel redeems. I didn't even know that was a thing until I started watching more people on Twitch. And maybe I'll have to look into how that actually works. I mean, I'm just doing this for fun, so... Yeah, maybe I should try to up the game a bit. But that'll definitely be one if I do. Alright, what are our assets? We have crates. We have... nothing. We have Bill. Let's talk to Bill again.
Hey you.
Get out of here, kid. No free barnacles today. Why don't you try the penny arcade or something?
Hey man, this is serious. Damn it, he barely even looked at me. He's too busy doing something.
He's on barnacle duty. Let's stick the knife in the bucket so he cuts his hand.
What the? Hey, what's the big idea? Wait, you're no kid. What do you want?
Oh my god, he did look like a kid. Oh, we have options.
Ever hear of a guy named Arthur Griffin?
Sure, he usually docks his boat here. I haven't seen him or his boat around here lately, though. Not since he started hanging around those scads in the fancy suits.
Well, this is not the question I wanted to ask today, but let's go for it.
I need info on crabs. What do you know about them?
Very itchy. But don't worry, you can get the special shampoo to get rid of them.
They made the comment I
that's
was
not what
hoping
it-
they would make.
Never mind.
I like how he took it calmly and answered it calmly and is now just staring at you with those... I guess we'll call them limpid eyes.
So, what exactly are you doing?
I'm polishing the barnacles. See, don't get shiny by themselves.
Wait, he's actually polishing...
I've heard enough for now.
Bill's a lost soul. We took our crab back. Alright. It should be a shiny crab now, but it's not. Okay.
Yep, still dead.
Let's have a look out the window. We can't have a look out the window. There's nothing in here we can interact with. Do we need more fingerprints? Do we have to get them all, or is one's good enough? The original Flash game has to be archived somewhere. Someone has to have it, because they made a remake. Unless someone memorized the whole game and then remade it.
He's already dead.
Well, we've only got one other location. What am I missing? We have crates. We have an exit. We have shiny barnacles that we can't interact with. We have Bill. Does Bill say anything else we can use?
Hey you.
What is it now?
Okay, maybe it was remade by the original creator, but at the very least he has the notes for the entire game, unless he seriously had the entire thing memorized.
I've heard enough for now.
There's a boat.
doesn't need shooting.
I don't know what to do, these crates. Are we we're comparing fingerprints on a... Are we actually gonna do that? No, okay.
These are just like the ones that Arthur brought into my office.
Wait, can we... Oh, we can't examine them ourselves? Crab with a gun. Oh, the game won. I quit. Goodbye. I used all but the thing I'm supposed to use. Now it's just a guessing game.
Nah.
Oh,
Another case of crabs.
how did I miss that several times?
Wait a minute. These crabs aren't real. They're counterfeit
Digital
crabs.
crabs.
You know, if there's a bunch of counterfeit crabs going around, someone's sure to have noticed. Start by
Someone.
checking out some local restaurants.
I don't... Oh my god, I don't think... Okay. Alright, 2 new locations. And the day that I don't go somewhere called Jim's Shack of Crabs before somewhere called Blue Crab Cafe is the day I turn in my badge. He's teaching the rat kung fu so that it can teach 4 turtles the arts of the ninja. Which totally makes sense.
That's one ugly rat.
Punt it.
Hi.
Can't talk. Got rats.
Why did he air quote that? I have quote unquote rats. Well, look, buddy, I have quote unquote crabs that we need to talk about. Alright. That didn't work. Here you go. This'll work. Goodbye, rat.
Oh, I like to catch my rats more stereotypically. That's one ugly rat.
Yes. Yes, despite all its rage.
Not a terrible idea, but I'll need some bait.
Rat bait. Alright, buddy, talk.
Well, okay. Bye-bye, Jim, you poor son of a bitch. Wait, no.
I like this game. It's got the sense de la humor. Alright, they're forcing us to go to the Blue Crab Cafe first.
saw this old flyer here back in '89. I wonder what happened to that guy.
He became Drew Carey?
It's locked.
It's 4 feet tall. Why is this crab cafe so fancy? It has an ID scanner. Insert card fully. Alright, let's ruin the fingerprint.
I'm sorry, that is not a valid ID. It's missing a photograph.
You're not a valid ID. Okay. How do I exit? Oh, I accidentally clicked on my chat. Exit, there we go. Oh, come on. That's the obvious answer.
I saw this old flyer here back in '89.
Ah,
I wonder what happened
89.
to that guy. I cut out a picture of his face.
I often do that.
Now I have a genuine fake ID.
Come on in, Mr. Carey.
Nah, very good. Welcome to the Blue Crab Cafe.
Yay!
They're actually
I'm in.
building like anime mechas
Business
in here.
didn't look too good at the Blue Crab Cafe.
Well, you can't get in.
Last time I saw a place this empty was at a showing of the musical Rent. But at least then, someone had the decency to set fire to the building and put everyone out of their misery.
That said cats. I saw that. You're not fooling me.
Hi, I'm Sandy, your waitress. Our
Your one and
specials
only
tonight are
waitress.
crabbish cakes, flounder stuffed with crab-like meat, and I can't believe it's not Alaskan king crab legs.
I'd believe it.
Aren't you going to seat me before taking my order?
There's no point. No one stays for dinner anymore.
Is this was this game made in 2023? What are my model toggles? Let's see. Not that many, really. I've got the glasses. And then I can do this. And I've never been able to figure out how to resize it properly in on the Stream Deck. And also the mouth. There we go. The mouth works now. I had to move. Apparently the camera doesn't pick this one up as well. Let's see. I've got the angry face. That just means the mouth opens wide whenever I talk. Then there's the happy face. That just means that it's all smiles and... yeah, I can't get the mouth to move right. And the eyes stay closed. And then the sad face. Look at this. It's so pathetic. It makes me want to cry. And if we jump back here to Tiny and resize him. Oh, let's see. I think, yes, angry. That just makes me narrow my eyes in rage. And my mouth doesn't close. It just, I just grit my teeth. That's it. And then he's got a happy one too. Again, just with the eyes closed. And the sad face. He looks more concerned than sad. I almost never use these. This is probably the first time I've done all of them. I'm sad. Oh, I think that's built into VTube Studio. Oh, I could set that to a button probably. Or if nothing else, I think I know where that image is like everywhere on the internet. Transparent background, hand holding a gun. I used to watch Pika-Me use it all the time, and she would like zoom in and out to make it look like she was pointing it closer to you. Good times. Oh, we want to get back to our myopic twink, though. Yeah, I'll work on more toggles on the model upgrade that I will eventually do. I was going to do it this year. Probably next year, though. I want to do a really good Kung Fu theme for both of these. I don't even know, to this day, no matter how many times I've heard it, what Pog means. I used to play Pogs because I was alive when those were a thing. And I remember seeing the Chuck E. Cheese video where the Chuck E. Cheese guy, the puppet thing, was playing video games, said nothing for an entire video, except at one moment turned to the camera and said, "Poggers." That is all I know about the term Pog. Is that all it means? I would have known if it was P-O-T-G. So Poggers are just play of the gamers. I like it. I'll use it more often now. The question is... I've been lied to. I'm over it. Alright, what else does our waitress Sandy have to... It's a nonsense word people came up with? Oh, geez, I know another one of them. Son of a gun, I was just thinking about it. Curse my floppy ears, I can't remember it. That was the thing, because I never heard it used in the context of play of the game. Yeah. It's all good, though. I'm totally cool with Prom Fam. Alright, now you've lost me. Oh, you mean promise. Should I mention I'm old? I keep up with a lot of lingo, but not enough, apparently. I love how this music is just playing while we're discussing the meaning of Pog. I'm glad that you can. Because it's actually wildly inaccurate to think that I could be anywhere near a myopic twink. Although definitely myopic. That's a certainty. So I wonder if it's my voice, because I found out recently apparently I have a deeper voice than I thought. Oh yeah, I guess that would give a lot of age away. Not too many people know what myopic means. But you want to know the honest-to-God truth is the reason I know what that word means is from playing Arcanum. And there is a background you can select that mentions myopia setting in. And I think that's when I looked that word up and learned what it meant. So that's where that comes from. But then I started seeing it everywhere. Yeah, I write books, so every once in a while I learn a handful of new words here and there. Read a lot when I was younger, but I don't know the same words everyone else seems to know. Like, I meet people that have big vocabularies, and I know, like, none of the words they know, but then they don't know any of the words I know, so it's like, oh, I have a weird big vocabulary. Yes, the raunchiest. I'm a raunchy... I should become a raunchy fanfic author. You have no idea how much that helps advertise other things you write. Actually, people probably do realize that at this point. Our character... Oh no, they do both blink. I was wondering if they blinked. I looked back and she wasn't blinking. She just had that death stare. One of these days, if I really want to sell books, I'm going to write a ton of raunchy fanfics. Probably Nick Bounty fanfics. Oh, yeah, we got an in-joke here where I'm going to write a psychological griller, which is like a thriller except it all takes place at a barbecue. I'm writing a book about my my VTube. I didn't want to do lore like on channel, so I said, okay, I'm just going to write a book for it. But I'm in the middle of finishing another book now, so when that's done, I'm probably going to hurry up and rush out the VTube lore book. And it's going to be goofy and silly and dumb and something that I'll have to give away for free because nobody's going to pay 50 cents for that pile of trash. Yes. No. Maybe. No, I want people to write fan fiction about that. I want to write totally innocent, action-y adventure stuff, and then see everyone else go off the rails and just write, like, absolute, full-on Rule 34 Muppy fan fiction. I want everything about me on the internet to be really weird to look up. Like, I've already had my brother draw me as a drunken Deedlit cosplayer in a bad Deedlit costume, just for kicks. Yeah, and I have a I have a drawing of me as a how would I put it? I guess we'll just say sexy clown girl. It's really cool picture. And I think there was one more. What was... Oh, yes, the very first time I did that, I was having someone draw characters from my books, and I commissioned him to do a picture. I was like, you know what? I want something. This is how this all started. I said, I want something funny to put on my brother's Discord and send to my friends. That's just like me at my desk writing, but like as a cat girl. And he was in full compliance and he was on board. So that's how that all started. Next thing I knew, had a female VTuber model, and I became a myopic twink. That's right. That's how that road starts. Thank you. I am honored. And myopic. My brother told me I should have done that. My brother said I should have made the clown. Oh man, I'm tempted to pause the game and try and bring up some of these pictures. Package. I don't think this one doesn't really have one. I got this one a little bit on the cheap. We're not fully equipped here. I always forget that he has like Sonic the Hedgehog multicolored. No, Punky Brewster shoes. I don't know, is he? Can't really tell here. He's not packing much, I guess. Why does it look like I wet my pants? I'm cool with that. But yeah, I had a... I think I... Maybe it's on this model. Maybe there's things I didn't know. Well, it looks normal. Yeah, this was the original model. And I guess the dude got his tail chopped off, so he's a eunuch. But I went through... I was looking for cheap models to buy. I wanted a pre-made model to get started. Because I felt like too many people wait until they've got everything perfect. And... and, poor guy. Yeah, so people wait too long to get started. And they're like, I gotta get an expensive model and everything. This model was dirt cheap. I bought it, and then I immediately went to the artist and said, hey, I need a male version. I didn't buy a cheap male version because they all looked the same, and they all looked like it's just some guy in a hoodie, and I didn't want that. Dirt cheap to me is like this. Was it $25 I got this for? And so it's not like fully rigged or anything. It's just the face and a little bit of the hair. It's a good job for that price. When I got my custom model made, I actually paid for the male fella here. Because it was redrawn by the artist and re-rigged and everything. This one was $500. And I didn't even really give much input for it. I was just like, I like the female model. Please make a male version of that for me. Which is why I have the little side hangy thing. Like, they wanted to keep it, like, very true to the original, so I got the side braid going here. I'm pretty easy to work with on things like that. Like, whoever I get to do the Kung Fu one is probably not going to trust me. I've had so many artists that I asked to draw stuff for me. I'm just like, hey, this is kind of what I want. Just make it your own thing and do that for me, and I'll pay you. And they always think I'm lying. They always think that I want to give more input than that. They're like, well, do you want this or this or this? And I'm like, artist's choice. I think you'll be better at it than me to come up with it, because you've done this before. And the artist that did my Catgirl writer drawing, he was amazing, because he wasn't charging me a lot for these pictures, and he was doing really cool things with each one. Like the first two, he knew a little bit about what characters they were in my stories, and so he had a little link to all of my stuff in my stories in each of the pictures that I didn't even notice. He challenged me to hunt for them. And in the one where I'm at my desk writing as a cat girl, he actually had the first image that he drew for me on my laptop. And I almost missed it. Then I was like, wait a minute, that's that first drawing you did for me. Thank you. So, you meet cool people. But it's really... Okay, I'm gonna see if I can figure this out. It's time for me to learn more stuff here anyway. Let's see. Pictures. Wait, what do I have popping up on my... Oh, that's the game. I thought a window popped up on the screen in OBS. Let me see if I can find... Why did Adobe Digital Editions open? What did I click? There we go. I just have a folder called The Shadow. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not even sure if this stuff is going to be on this computer. I'm going to have to go to my brother's Discord and download them again. It's detective work. We're figuring this out. Yeah, none of these pictures are actually on my computer. They're on my old laptop. I never transferred them over. It would be cool if I could figure this out. I got a whole bunch of cool stuff. You've seen the full picture. I'm pretty sure I've shown you the full picture there, kept silent. Alright. Hit up the old Discord. Did I close Discord? Who closes Discord? Only old myopic twinks like me. I keep it's all popping up in front of the game screen on my end, so I keep looking at OBS like, oh, am I giving away vital information on screen? I was born and raised on stand-up comedy, okay? I am cool with it. I mean, honestly, I didn't start this because I wanted to sit here and just play games anyway, so when stuff like this happens, I'm all about doing things. Like, I wanted to... My original idea was to just do educational stuff here, because I had to teach my niece a lot of mathematics, and she kept saying that I was a better teacher than her teachers, which was totally true, because I remember being in high school, and... Yeah, I pretty much had to teach myself. So yeah, I wanted to do educational stuff, and then I was like, well, I'll start with games until I can think of what I want to do. I mean... yeah, we've had the psychological griller one for a long time. There is no shame in not having a GED these days, because I remember high school and they did not give me an education. I would not be ashamed if I was a dropout. Also, I'm very bad at talking while trying to find the things that I was doing. Oh, I thought you just meant you were going to... you were working towards a GED instead of a... shoot, what the heck happened to Discord? I just opened it. Open back up, Discord. Oh, it's behind my game window. I know about computers. Look at me, I'm an idiot. Yeah, me too. I mean, they tell me I'm not. You go and you take the tests, and they're like, oh, you're such a genius. And then you get out in the real world, and it's like, yeah, but the idiots do a better job of running businesses than I ever could. And believe me, I've worked for some of them. The game actually stayed up when I minimized it. I'll give this a try here for a minute. Oh, no, okay. Discord is not wanting to open up. It wants me to Control-Alt-Delete my way out of it. Maybe it was in this other folder somewhere? I don't think I have this stuff on this computer. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do this. This is an adventure now. I don't know what my screen looks like on OBS now because I'm in Task Manager. So, okay, it doesn't look like nothing bad happened. Yeah, I did too. And my teachers hated me for it. Because they're like, why do you ace all your tests, but then you get horrible grades and end up having to go to summer school? And it was really hard not to tell them, because you all suck and I don't want to do homework. And by hard, I mean I told them that constantly. Okay, I have ended the Discord task. I should now be able to reopen it. Discord is starting. Were you not in public school? They make you do it. Or was it like a case of you couldn't even get there during the summer for some reason? Oh, it's terrible. Like, my niece, the things I had to teach her just so she could pass her tests this last semester. You know, it's like basic algebra all these kids are struggling with because they don't actually give them problems to work. And I had to walk through a lot of problems step by step to show my niece how to do basic trigonometry and basic algebra. She was still having trouble with algebraic equations and what it meant to subtract or multiply both sides of an equation until I made her go through it several steps. I accept when people can't do division, because I went 20 years without ever really doing any division in my head, and then one day I went to do it, and I was like, hang on, I gotta write this down and make sure I still remember how to do it right. And then I did, and I was like, oh, okay. And it took me a minute to remember how to do everything, because I wasn't sure where to drop down everything doing it by hand. But, you know, it was kind of funny. Teaching my niece math reminded me of how much math I had forgotten. And I kept telling her, at some point you're going to get past where I can teach you, because I'm not really studying anymore, and I don't remember a lot of the later stuff I did. And I never got into calculus or anything, because I was in engineering school when I got out of high school. They never really got to the high-end calculus, and college ended up being kind of a joke as well. And when I realized that... Alright, I like calculus. I want to learn it at some point. I have a friend who's a physicist, and he says that differential calculus is probably the most useful thing he ever learned in his life. I don't remember what the slide method was. I'm pretty sure we learned that back in elementary school, but I can't remember. I can count up to 10, take it or leave it. I love it. Yeah, there's a lot of people that think I'm exceptional at math, but the truth is I'm kind of like cut off at basic college algebra, and I didn't really learn much past there. I learned a little bit more because there were certain things I had to know for measuring motor diagrams and things. But, oh yeah, the boxes and the slashes. Honestly, it's been so long since I've touched those, I don't even remember how to do those. But I do remember doing them. Man, this got fun. And anyone that was here for watching the game probably doesn't agree, but ranting about school is like the thing I like to do most. Just ask kept silent. Okay, so to my brother's Discord. And to my section. I hope this isn't popping up on the screen. This is his private Discord. No, it's good. Okay. I'm sure he wouldn't care. And I'm bigger than him, so... Where am I? True story. I'm going to tell you a true story here. Muppy has been my moniker for a long time. And, yes, I could go all night about the uselessness of college. Do not tempt me. Okay, I found the Catgirl picture. So I'll download that one. And we'll save that right to the desktop. Catgirl Muppy. Okay. Ugh. You'd be surprised the classes that you would think are important that aren't. I mean, you can get a CPA without going to college to become an accountant, but people do it. My brother will attest to the usefulness of a graphic design degree any day. And so will a good friend of ours who, I won't even get into the years he spent looking for work and how the degree didn't seem to matter. I have a friend, I bring this one up a lot, I have a friend with like 7 degrees. 2 of them are master's degrees, and he always tells me that that there's 2 of them that make him money, and neither of them are the master's degrees. I have a couple friends that do make money with their degrees. I have a friend who's a journalist who makes good money, and I'm not too keen on journalism as a practice, but the degree can help you network and find work. Or actually, I'm not hip with modern journalism, but whatever. Physical labor does require a big brain. I've done physical labor most of my life, and you would be amazed how many people can't handle it. It's like box goes on shelf, pick up box, put on shelf. How do you not? And there's people that can't do it. It's like, but I gotta find where it goes. It's labeled, and we have things that scan them. All right, but it'll take me an hour. What? Do the work. Please do the work. Okay, now the tricky part. I've got the picture. I saved it to my desktop. I'm opening it up. I wonder if I should just download a bunch of them and see if I can... maybe I can't. Okay. Or I can, but I wouldn't know how to slideshow it. Alright. Catgirl Muppy is open. OBS. Maybe... Let's go to the chat screen. Okay. We're on the chat screen. Yeah, there's some negative IQ-ness going on there big time. I used to be a collator operator at a printing press, and there were people that didn't understand that the paper had to slide up the conveyor a certain way, or it wouldn't go into the machine right. Oh god, I forgot what my SAT score is, but given my high school grades, I would not have gotten into college if it wasn't for my SAT scores. And you're a better person for it. I hate the SAT as well. I hate a lot of things, though. I mean, more power to anyone that does well in school and makes something of it. But I've seen too many people that just can't or don't. And I don't put any truck in the high school education. So let's see. Oh, I've actually got... Okay, let's add an image. Catgirl Muppy. And so now let's just make this image file, that file, and I should be able to bring it up. I've got to figure out how to do this in, like, my browser like people do on Twitch all the time. I didn't think I would be showing off a bunch of images on my hard drive anytime soon, so I never learned how to do it. Oh, wait. I found a folder on my desktop that had all my images. I didn't need to download them. Oh, wait, no, it didn't have the Catgirl one, so I did need that one. Okay. Desktop. Where is Muppy Catgirl? I saved it to the desktop. Why is it not showing up? I mean, if school was good, it would be good. If they taught you the things that you actually needed to know. Alright, let's try this. How do I make it show up? Or is it? No, is it showing up? I see it in the window, but okay, let's maximize this. Oh, it's like really big. I hope I don't screw up everything I have trying to do this. I'm not very good at OBS, but I've almost got the whole image in here. Okay. I don't know if you can see it. You'll have to let me know. Is it showing up? I'm taking that as a yes. I'm really annoyed that I had to resize it that much. Wait a minute, I'm an idiot. Why don't I just make the browser a window? Yeah, he wanted a reference image, so I sent him a picture of me drinking from a Clownfish TV sold a mug that was based on one of their funny lines that came out of a random video that was showing Catra's mask from She-Ra, and this, what's her name on Clownfish had said, "That's where men's faces belong." And so the mug actually says that. But I was drinking from that mug, and so it's got the Catra mask on it, which is appropriate since it's Catgirl. And I was wearing a Hard Rock Cafe shirt, so he made that part of the image and just wrote Catgirl Cafe on it. I thought he did an awesome job. He's one of the best artists I ever commissioned. He went by the name Joe Schmo Show. And for a while, I think he was teaching art online. So, just throw his name out there real quick since he did me some great favors drawing these. But yeah, I told him, don't do anything that's, like, lewd, but, like, go borderline just to make it funny when I send it to my friends. And so he went ahead and went, like, underwear and underboob. Alright, now, can I figure out how to undo this? Go away, Discord. What did I do with OBS? Oh my god, I lost OBS. There it is, okay. So let's just trash that. I had it as my avatar for a while on, I think, Twitter and Discord, but I don't use Twitter that much, and only my brother and his friends would have seen it on Discord. Let me see if I can open up these other 3, or 4, or whatever is in here, in a, let's see, open them in a browser window. Oh, come on, Windows. Where is open with? Why can't you just leave things be when you have good things going for you, Microsoft? Huh, I guess they don't want me to. Okay. Alright, I'll open a browser window, and I will
This is
I will
Clock
apparently play a Retsupre video when I open it, so... Yeah, that's nice.
I'm gonna go get
And some HoloLive there. I better close all these YouTube links that I had open. Okay. Drag. Drop. And it only dragged one of them out. Can I get multiple? Okay, okay. Close all of these tabs. All of you go away. You're done. I'm done with all of you. This must be really entertaining for anyone watching. Totally getting the action and advantage. It's funny because I use so many computers and I know so much about them, and then I try to do something new in OBS and it's just like, oh, yep, it's boomer time. And I'm right on the borderline for boomer too. I was born in 1981. Really, I should be creating an entirely new scene for this. But then I'd have to set up my VTuber in it again. Oh, I torment Kept Silent with with stories about things that happened when I was younger. I am relentless in telling him about old cartoons and so forth. Okay. We're gonna add browser. Which browser is it gonna show? Oh no, it's trying to show a URL. We don't want that. I mean, poor Nick Bounty, he's not getting any playtime here either. Yeah, what would we want to... what old stuff? There was an old Hanna-Barbera Godzilla cartoon that I used to wake up at 5 in the morning to watch all the time, and I loved it. And it's interesting to note that Doctor Who once made fun of... talk about the Depression. Let's see, which one? Was that the... Well, no, I was fresh off of the 1970s Depression. They called it a recession, but fiscally speaking, it was probably a depression. And while technically you could say that my old soul was around for the 1921 Depression, I did miss out on the 1929 Depression entirely. Yeah, we're getting into a weird area here. Oh, the browser thing opened up. What's it doing? I can't even tell what that is on my window. You've just added a browser source. Oh my god. This is going to be hard for me not to really get into. Guys, I think we're done with the game, but I'm going to keep the music playing. I'm going to turn it down just a touch. Okay. Okay, so... Get rid of... Yeah, we're done with the game. We're chatting now. I should probably go on to Twitch and change it to chatting. Not that there's anything professional really going on here at this moment, but you know what I mean. Alright, let's get rid of this. And let's add an image again. Can I resize the image before adding it? Unload image when not showing defaults. No, don't reset to defaults. Okay, I'm gonna have to resize all of these images to show them to you. My god. The first thing I'm doing when I'm done here is I'm going to figure out how to set up an easy image display in OBS so I never have to bother with this again and I can show anyone anything I want to. So let's see. Images. Yes, I just had a folder called My Commissions. Here's the clown pic. Okay, let's resize this a little better here. I'll try to get it before I display too much of it, so you can see it in all its glory. OBS isn't big enough for me to really... maybe here? There we go. Yes, I actually commissioned an artist friend of my brother's to draw this. And when I told him I told him draw the Mupster as a clown girl. I think he meant I wanted the character to be called Mupster, so he actually wrote Mupster on it, which just made it better. And I don't know, is that showing up on there? I think it is. It's on my OBS. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's showing up. I have my fun. Yeah, oh no, this guy is an incredible artist. This is he goes by Clapping Donuts, and he's definitely one of the people that if I ever want to flood the internet with like Rule 34 Muppy, he'd be one that I could probably get to do it. But yeah, he's definitely an artist worth knowing. He does great stuff. Alright, we'll get rid of that one. Okay. Oh, the Deedlit one's not in here. That's what we were looking for, right? Just the ones where people drew me gender bent, right? So this one was great because my brother actually drew this one. So just think of how funny it is. I had done my brother a favor, and in payment, he was like, "You want me to draw you something?" And it was the first thing I could think of. I was like, "Draw me as a drunken cosplayer in a really bad Deedlit cosplay." And he delivered on that one. So if I can find it. That one is not in that folder. It should be. It's a commissions folder. It's got a few other things, but it's not. It does not have that. Yeah, my own artwork is not particularly good. But I could probably draw pretty funny Muppy stuff. Why am I too stupid to really put things in good folders? I'm definitely too old school with all my picture saving. Everyone else has better ways of doing it now. I've got a bunch of them stored in my downloads folder like a twerp. I don't know if I might not be as poggers as you thought. Okay, well this one's definitely on Discord. So let's see. How far back do I have to go to find this? Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm wrong. Probably not PogChamp. Well, where it concerns computers, I have a friend that would definitely earn the title of PogChamp. He's the man. He's seriously like the best computer guy in the entire state of Michigan. I'm so angry right now. Why do I... This picture should be right here in my pictures folder, and it is not. And that makes me sad. It's time to pull out the sad Muppy. I can't even use a Steam Deck properly. Muppy's sad. I frowny. Did I dox myself? How did I dox myself? Oh, because I said Michigan? Yeah, look, my name is on my books on Twitter, on my Muppy Twitter, so it's not exactly a big secret. I'm not worried about that, and quite frankly, I mean, I don't think anyone has a reason to start anything with me, but bring it on. I am no one to be trifled with. Yeah. Kept Silent will vouch for me on this one. It's not just that I'm a trained ninja. I will hunt people down for revenge like nobody's business. Send your armies, as the proto-men would say. And thinking about violence makes me happy, so we're turning Sad Muppy off. All right, well, we might have to give up on the Deedlit one. I'm too incompetent at this. Yeah, hunting people for sport isn't hard. Getting away with it is a little bit difficult, but... I mean, you really don't do things that you need to get away with. You just really, really, really make it hard on people. And they stop bothering you. So... since I wasn't able to find the image I was hoping for, unless it's in here. No, it's not. Pics from desktop. It's not in here either. Yeah, I'll have to... Gonna give him a closed casket. I mean, there's not gonna be anything to put in a casket. Either because we'll avoid doing illegal things, or by design. Excuse me. Yeah, actually, that's the funniest. Like, you would think that ninjas would keep their ninja-ness hidden, but I found that nobody actually believes you when you tell them you're a trained ninja. So, you just say it, and it's like, oh, this guy's just a weirdo, and I'm cool with that. I'm totally cool with that. Man, I'm having so much fun talking about hurting semi-innocent people. No, seriously though, like I don't understand the doxing thing. Like how bored do you have to be in your life to think that someone online who says something you disagree with is worth like causing all this trouble for? It's just like, what do you think that accomplishes? Like, it's mostly political disagreements. So someone disagrees with you politically, so you hunt them down and like get them fired from their job. How has that helped your side of the argument in any way whatsoever? For one thing, it has hardened someone against your side. You've made an enemy of that person who will undoubtedly bring several other people with them, people that sympathize with them over what happened to them. And for it's just bored, lousy, useless, stupid people stirring up strife. And, like I said, bring it on, because I don't have any skin in this game. I'm not doing this for money, and I don't really care about the jobs I work at anyway. Another thing Kept Silent can attest to. I have worked many a job where me walking out, or the threat of me walking out, was the make or break difference for whether or not they were going to change things. I am not worried about this in any aspect whatsoever. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Mostly the young, too. Like young people get it into their heads way too much that all of this matters. And so you've got to... You see it online all the time. I mean, we see professionals who are very young who take it more to heart than they really should, that they really don't need to. Like, yeah, they get harassed a lot and things like that, and that shouldn't happen, and they should do something about that aspect of it and have people help them. But you can't play into it and let them... You definitely don't want to show people that they're getting to you and give them more... like they're doing it to get a dopamine rush. and they'll keep doing it if they think it's having an effect. There's block buttons on social media for a reason. Yeah, you've got the right idea. Well, I stopped looking for that image while we were talking about all of this, but this is fun too. I have my own political leanings. I don't really like to bring them to the table here too much because I'm here to have fun. But I love talking about this stuff in fun ways. Especially with, on occasion, I talk about how I will hurt people who mess with me over it. It's fun to do. I'll go full 100% myopic twink on them. And so if I can see the enemy, if I have any hope of seeing the enemy in my myopia, you mess with the myop, you get the twink. That sounds very non-threatening. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, so you already pretty much know where I align politically. Well, or at least some of it. Yeah, if you can't defend yourself, then you can't protect anything you have. And people that think nobody should be allowed to... Okay, so put it like this. I taught martial arts, and the first thing that I would tell any girl that I was teaching is, yeah, your best defense would be to just be armed. Because no matter how good a fighter you are, no matter what you get taught here, I'm only 5'9". I'm a trained ninja, and I don't want to fight someone that's a foot taller than me, because untrained Johnny Hamfist can still kill me with a single punch, because he's that much bigger than me. And yeah, Bruce Lee height. 5'9" is the way to go. You'll get there. We'll buy you some shoes or something with padded soles, and then you too can be Bruce Lee height. I actually thought you were taller than me. I guess I just don't pay attention very well. Seriously, I thought you were taller than me. Maybe it's because of your hair. I have very little of it, and you have a lot. I mean, lore breaking, I actually have a full head of pink and blue and... Oh my god, I work HR, don't I? Yeah, probably the hair. I never did figure out how to make the character flip. I did it when I first was messing around in VTube Studio. I found the controls that let you rotate and everything, and now I've completely forgot it. What is it, like control? Or no, both buttons? Middle mouse? No, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out and do more action-y stuff. This was supposed to be a game playthrough, doggone it. It was specifically requested by Kept Silent, and I've derailed it completely. We're going to have to do this, do the game tomorrow, because I'm going to have to stop soon and eat food. Yeah, I'm actually really annoyed now. I'm really not looking that hard now because I'm having so much fun just chatting here, but I don't know what I did with my picture, unless... yeah, long hair is good stuff. I've never known that experience, so good on ya. My hair got really thin at like 18, and it just sort of stayed at that level of thinness. You have those luscious long, that luscious long hair, and I'm the myopic twink. This does not bode well. Oh yeah, we're Seneca here. Well, I mean, Kept Silent might not be, but I am. I don't know anything about that part of the heritage, because actually it was kind of funny. My family, we thought we were, what, Chippewa or something for the longest time. And it wasn't until my grandmother died and people were going through her stuff that found out that all this time it was actually Seneca that we were. Which is awesome, because I mean, So I had to look up a little bit of the history of that just to get my bearings straight there, and it turned out that the Seneca were very genocidal, and we basically raided and took over tribes like the Chippewa and killed their warriors and enslaved the women and children, or migrated them into Seneca culture. So very fun stuff. Yeah, you've got like the one side that's really long. If it isn't obvious by now, me and Kept Silent have met in real life. Oh yeah, Seneca. It's funny because every time someone's like, oh, think of what happened when the white man came to America, I was like, you should see what the Seneca did to the other natives. Field trip by comparison. Yeah, they were hardcore. I kind of want to learn more about them just for the kick of it. I'm not much of a I want to know my personal history buff. But, and that would take forever because there's a lot in my family. It's like, we've got Irish and Scottish and German and French and Mongolian. It's really weird. So like, I mean, we are a white family for sure. But if you look at pictures of my brother when we were kids, people thought he was adopted because he looks Chinese, and that's the like the Mongolian part of our ancestry. And there's actually images of him like in his 20s. Like we're at my sister's wedding, and there's this picture where he's got his hair combed and he's wearing a black suit, and he looks like someone off of a K-pop drama. He doesn't quite look like that anymore. He's a couple years younger than me, but you can still kind of see it a little. And then if I look at people on my dad's side of the family, a lot of them have a very Native American or Asian look to their faces. I was watching a movie the other day, and there was this Asian guy in it, and I was just like, if I tilt my head just a bit, he actually looks like my uncle. So it's kind of funny. And it's like there's like none of that really in us. There's like a very trace amount in our ancestry, but it shows in just a couple people in our family. I believe that's all on my dad's side though, so it's pretty funny when you notice it. I forget where the German in our family comes from. It's got to be on my mom's side because that's the Polish side. My brain inherited all the Polish. That's why I can't figure out how to bring up an image or to even find an image that I paid for. Well, I guess technically that one I only semi-paid for through favors. Oh yeah, it's always good to have an ancestor by that name. It's always a good conversation starter. It's just such a fun name. It evokes so many images in one's mind. It's very German, just Adolf. Adolf. Yeah, it was something like that. I think he was very into youth groups. And I mean, if you're thinking of the children, you must be a real person of sterling character, right? Am I right? Yeah, totally. I do a podcast with a friend, and the running joke is that every episode we find some way to get canceled by some group of people, and if we were doing that right now, I think we just hit it nail on the head. This is my cancel moment. He liked to spread the love, I guess we'll call it. He was real Hitler miss on that one. Sorry there. Hit or miss. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, this one. I wonder how long it's going to take for that one to get kicked off of YouTube. Twitch is probably okay with it. I mean, they're okay with anything as long as it's not anime at this point. So, get clip G. Yeah, I mean, it's you know, a lot of people that have German ancestry also have a bit of the Austrian ancestry in them. You know, there's a lot of crossover there. That whole Eurozone, very a lot of people being mixed up in various things there. Yeah, I mean, Germany's known for a lot of things, and one of them is definitely cars. So that's where I went with that joke. Is it... Did I just get distracted looking at things in my pictures folder while live on Twitch? I am amazing. I was just like, ooh, it's a cutie honey pic. Oh, Cutie Honey is definitely one of those things. Cutie Honey predates me. Cutie Honey is from the 70s, I believe. I don't know when the comics started, but the first anime, I believe, was 1979 or something, maybe even older. And that's something that I really got into after I... God, I don't even remember what really got me started on Cutie Honey, but Cutie Honey is... my pick count? It depends on the folder. I've got 140 in the one I'm looking at right now, but I've got like 20 different folders because I've migrated so many things from other PCs and just never integrated them all into one folder. Yeah, I gotta... Okay, so I'm one of those people that doesn't really take pictures of myself or family. I don't really have a lot of pictures of family. Like, all my best memories and best pictures are things that, like, my family took of me on Polaroid cameras back in the 1980s and 90s. So that's all in photo albums, physical photo stuff. I never really got into the whole taking pictures of things. So everything in my pics folders is either really funny memes I found or anime pics. And a lot of those are just things that I was like, oh, I remember this really funny scene. I will get a depression model for it. I wanted to, you know, it's surprising to think that while I'm totally into ninjas, I'm actually just really into martial arts in general, and I decided I was going to do a ninja theme for the next model, but I decided that Kung Fu would look cooler to start with, and it's actually, this is kind of interesting. So, like, I didn't realize when I bought the original model, I will talk in Iori's voice if I do that. I'll be like, hi everyone. Back to play another game again. Probably won't be able to get through it. Probably not good enough to finish it. Oh my god. You guys are reminding me of way too many stories. A long time ago. Not a long time ago for me, because I'm old. But for anyone younger than me, it would feel like a long time ago. This might have been a decade ago. I was at Anime Central. I loved going to anime conventions for like 12 years straight, I think I went to Anime Central. And one year, a friend of mine, he had brought with him his wife, and she wasn't really into cosplaying or anything. But she'd brought her Eeyore costume, her full-size, like an Eeyore Kigurumi. And she'd brought it with her just for kicks, and wore it a little bit while she was there, and that was that. And my friend made the mistake of letting me know that he had it there. And so I was like, gimme, gimme. I'm a weirdo. I do weird, fun things. If I get the notion to do something just for fun, I'm like, yep, that's gonna happen. So I was at Anime Central in some year 20-10s or something, which isn't how you use aught. And I was walking around in an Eeyore costume that was way too big for me. And it just looked dopey and ridiculous. And simultaneously, like, it was one of them Kigurumis where you could see the person's face fully. But I had brought with me this mask that was also kind of legendary between our group of friends. You know how it is. You have your own in-jokes. Well, I had picked up at a garage sale this Chinese opera mask, which prompted me to fall in love with the Legend of the Monkey King, because it was the opera mask for the Monkey King. I had to look it up and be like, what is this even from? And then I learned about Chinese opera, and it so happened that that particular one was the mask that is used to depict the Monkey King. So I got really into the Monkey King, which is a total distraction from what I'm trying to tell you. I'm good at those. I will always do those. Deal with it. If it's not obvious that I get distracted easy by now, you're not paying attention. So there's that. But I was also wearing this mask while walking around in this Eeyore costume. So it looked like some people thought that I was playing the character from Spirited Away, No Face, or what was that what he was called? It's been a while since I've seen it. It's not my favorite Miyazaki movie, so I don't remember everything about it. It's no Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Okay, that's 6 distractions in a row. Anyway, I'm wandering around in this Eeyore costume, and one of my friends is there, and he's got a beer with him. He's had a drink or two, so he's like really in a good mood. And someone had dropped a glass, and it shattered in this hallway. And I'm standing there next to this broken glass in an Eeyore costume, and he's standing there next to this broken glass with this bottle of beer. And completely spontaneously, without any communication between us, we decided it was our duty to make sure that a lot of people coming through... It was like... They did it at this hotel that had this narrow alleyway that everyone had to walk through to get from one place to the other. So we took it upon ourselves to stand guard and point out to people that there was broken glass and to be careful. For about 2 hours straight. But we were doing it in the greatest fashion ever. He was holding his beer and he would yell at people as they were passing by. He's like, hey, you've got open toes. You be careful. We got broken glass here. Watch where you're walking. He's just yelling at people. And people are loving it. And I'm over there as Eeyore talking like, just don't step on the glass. You'll have a horrible day. Much like mine. The amount of fun that we were having telling people to watch out for broken glass was universe-shattering. This should not be something that people are allowed to have this much fun doing. And I don't even drink. Like it must have been so much more fun for him. It's just like, yeah, I'm having a good time. I got my beer. And for me, I'm just, on the inside, I'm laughing so hard. And I'm like, how long can I keep this going? And I'm thinking to myself, he'll probably stay as long as I stay. It's interesting to note that this fancy hotel that we were all staying in, it took 2 hours for someone to come and sweep that up, despite the fact that there were 2 idiots in the hallway yelling at people to clean it up. I don't know. I don't know if my improv game is all that good. I think I get lucky sometimes. I don't think... I wonder what it would be like. Not that I'm aiming for this or anything. Like I said, I'm not here to do this professionally. I think I would be like the Conan Doyle of VTubers if I suddenly went pro and had some success at it. I would be like, this isn't what I wanted to do with my life. This isn't what I want to do, but it's making me money, so now I have to. Conan Doyle was not really... He didn't like writing Sherlock Holmes, but it became so popular that he kind of had to. It was his bread and butter for a while. That would be me as a VTuber, undoubtedly. I mean, I would have fun doing it, but the whole time I'm doing... Because I would do really long streams if I was doing this professionally. I'd be in it for like the 6 to 8 hour work day, and I would probably do 5 days a week. Like, I would treat it as a full-time job, no doubt about it. But the whole time I'm doing it, I would just be like, I had books I wanted to write. What am I doing? I had so many stories that needed writing. I'm kind of the same way about... Like I always wanted to get better at drawing, but I don't want to spend the time it takes to do that and take that time away from writing. Even this right here is kind of just like, alright, just do it as a hobby once or twice a week, just for fun, and then get back to your writing so you can get more books published. I was going to make it a goal to write 6 books this year. I got 1 out, and half the year's over. I could still do it. I'm pretty good at the craft. and I'm pretty quick at typing, and my editing jobs aren't the best, but I do a decent enough job that I don't have to hire anyone. And in the digital world, you know, I made a few mistakes with the first couple I self-published, so I had to backtrack and make some big improvements after I had already put them out, and that's annoying, but wow, did I get distracted? What were we talking about? I think at what point have I chased you guys off? I mean, seriously, is this another incident of broken glass on the floor and and I'm just doing it to see how long people... I don't know, man, I zoned out. I kinda did too. Somehow, because my life is a rich tapestry, but the most exciting thing in it is book writing, which is not that exciting when you tell it to other people. But since it's the most exciting thing I do personally, I tend to talk about it like when the subject comes up and forget that I shouldn't talk about it that much. This is a mistake that people make when they're writers. I don't know how it is for people that draw or anything, but when you write something, you've got a lot of it in your head. And so if writing comes up and you're prompted to talk about it, it gets hard to stop talking about it, and you have to remind yourself, oh, shut up. This person does not care that much about the stories you wrote. I prefer, when I talk about it, to talk about my experiences writing things instead of bringing up what the books are actually about, because I can always record a video or something if I want to tell people what my books are about. I've done that before. But I mean, people get overly excited about the stuff they're into, and when it's in person, it's almost like a captive audience. Like, I try to remember that, you know, this person might want to actually walk away from this and is just being polite, so I'll try to, like, not talk too much about it. I don't know. It's just, this is my stream of consciousness talking right here. Oh yeah. So I don't think I'd be good at improv is kind of my point. Because I would do this. I would end up talking about something so far out of field that I would have to bring it back around because I just happened to remember what I was talking about to begin with. Yeah, but like the pro VTubers that do this all the time and do it for hours a day and probably got used to it before they went pro, like, say what you want. Like I used to discount the English VTubers a lot, and when they first announced that first wave of the EN HoloLive VTubers, I was a little bit dismissive. Like, I checked it out a bit, but I got away from it pretty quickly, and then I went back to it and I was like, whoa, these guys are good. Like, especially, and I wondered for a while, I was like, wait, is Gura really the most popular VTuber? And I looked into it and I was like, she is. And she was, at the time, I believe she was like my second least favorite out of all of them. And I watched Amelia Watson the most. But even then, I wasn't really watching that much. And when I started seeing a lot of the clips showing up from Gura's stuff, I was like, oh no, she's a genuine comedian. Like, she knows comedic timing. She understands this. She knows the craft. Like, she could do stand-up. Gura's first word, ah. Is that an Azumanga Daioh joke? Oh wait, no, you told me you hadn't seen Azumanga. Are there? I mean, I watch a lot of indie ones. I like to give props when I see it. There's one I watch. I like watching this VTuber called Blue Icon. His streams are just fun because he has a lot of friends and they all play games together and they're all really happy and having a good time. Yeah, lay it on me. Yeah, there's yeah, as far as the indie ones go, though, like Blue Icon is one I like. For asking if they want to be heckled. I mean, that is like a good invitation. Okay, so to be fair, especially if you're diving into it, and especially if you're a younger person who hasn't experienced a lot of, like... Because the internet is way different now than it was. I was there when the internet started. I am ancient, and I remember how people were when the internet started. We could take being ragged on back and forth, like, all night. Like, people would get into these internet debates like you see today, but they would not, they might be frothing at the mouth, but they would not really be very hateful towards each other. And if they were, those arguments tended to die off quickly because they lost interest when it turned into just name-calling. Because she jumped off a cliff in Wuthering Waves and I asked for a flip. Yeah, people might take it to heart too much. I try not to engage with people that I think will be like that very much. And if people set up their rules beforehand, so I know it's like, okay, cool, that's what you want, so I'll avoid doing anything you say outright. But it seems like there's just so much of it. It's hard to avoid. Like, my natural reaction as someone growing up watching Mystery Science Theater 3000 as a kid, my reaction would be, if someone was at a cliff edge in a video game, I would make the joke. I'd be like, do it! Jump! And so I wouldn't even be thinking that anyone would find that offensive. And honestly, I don't think there's anything for a person to find offensive in it if you're not asking them personally to jump off a cliff and do a flip, you know? I was timed out because I asked somebody for a flip. Accused me of being a bot, then her stream crashed, and I said, that's karma. Okay, buddy, you're just looking for trouble. Well, I mean, I wouldn't have banned someone for that, but I don't know. That's a tough one. Like, if I was having a back and forth with someone and I thought that they were doing it just to rag on me and give me a hard time, and then they told me something was karma, I might, take it a bit personally and be like, dude, we're here to have fun or something. Still probably wouldn't ban anyone over it, but, 80% of that would just be because I don't know how to ban people from here. So if we get flooded with like 1,000 bots in the next 5 seconds, we're just going to have to deal with it. I don't know my stuff when it comes to this. I just wanted to get on here and be an idiot and talk about things and play games, so I did not really learn as much as I should have about Twitch. Yeah, I remember, I think the first time I saw you say something, you were asking me to do a flip, and I got a kick out of that. I mean, I don't want to say that the people that would have a problem with it are bad people. I would say that it makes it harder for me to watch people like that and comment. I could probably still watch people, no problem, but I would just be like, yeah, I can't walk on eggshells. I can't worry about a silly little comment offending someone. And I do agree that it's a bit pathetic, but I don't hate them over it. I'm just like, come on, nobody hates you. You set up a channel that has a chat so that people could interact and so that people could have fun. And most people don't even realize this, but like, all the heckling and comments that people make in chat, like, a lot of that stems from Mystery Science Theater 3000. Like, there's people that don't even know what that is that would think that I'm wrong on this, but if you really trace back how the internet got to where it is now, like, one of the big contributors to making video game commentary so popular were the Something Awful crew and like people like Slowbeef and Diabetes, who started the whole Let's Play thing. And they had a channel called Retsupre. They went to conventions and did panels, and people would ask them what inspired them to do this, and their answer was, well, we watched Mystery Science Theater 3000. A couple of guys that would go into a theater and watch an old bad movie and make fun of it, and we did that with games. And that grew into Let's Plays, which started as like still shots of images and people writing text, and then became video when video streaming became, when it became cheap enough to do that. And that grew into a big thing on YouTube. YouTube used to be people putting 10-minute videos at most. Was AVGN also inspired by MST? I'm not sure. I'm certain that he knows what it is. He seems to have a very old movie inspiration behind him. Like, he wanted to direct, I believe. I believe he said in an interview at some point before he started making his own stuff, he was like, I would like to, direct my own movies and things. I find it hard to believe that anyone who has seen Mystery Science Theater, unless you're the rare person who watched it and didn't like it, I find it hard to believe anyone watched that and wasn't inspired by it. Because nobody was sitting around making fun of movies like that the way that we all did when that first dropped. Like, I was pretty young when those came out. They started as a public broadcasting thing in, like, was it Minnesota or something? And it was just these guys doing a public broadcasting show and recording it, and then people would record it on their VCRs. Like, this was VHS era stuff, and they would share the tapes, and the MST crew loved it that people shared the tapes. That's what made it so popular. Oh, you're already someone's mod and 2 subscriptions. People get a lot of free subscriptions from gift subs, I guess. Like, that's how I like to support my the VTubers I follow. If I go into someone's chat and I have a little extra money to spare, and there's someone that I like and want to see do better, or even if there's someone that I just happen to pass by and I'm like, all right, well, I got my entertainment out of this, I usually gift a sub. I've got people who I regularly, I go and watch them. If I happen to catch them and I pop in for a couple minutes, I'll usually gift at least 1 sub. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of generous people out there that run their channels, and they're like, yeah, if you're gonna help me out here, sure, I'll throw you a sub as a favor. And it's a pretty great system. Like, I've just from being in people's rooms, I've gotten random gift subs because it is randomized. Like, if you gift sub something, you can either give it to someone directly or you can have it go to a random person in the room. So I've gotten a few just based off of that. And I don't really use them. I don't use the perks or anything because most of the time I have a lot of work to do, and at best I can watch someone as background noise, and I might get half an hour of actually being able to sit there and watch. One of my favorite moments was it was after work, and I work nights, so I'm up in the morning, which is the only time that Blue Icon is on. And so I decided to stay up a little later and watch his show for a bit. And they were playing a game called Golf with Friends. And he'd invited me to play games with them several times, and I finally was like, you know what, I'm a bit tired, but I don't have to go to bed just yet. I really want to play games with Blue. So I got to play on his stream with him for a little bit, and that was really fun. It's one of my favorite things that I've ever done on Twitch. The VTuber that modded me loved interacting with me so much, she made like 5 clips of me on her channel. Yeah, I mean, I made a couple of clips for people. I always forget about them. It's not that hard for me to get distracted. Like, I'm blinking my eyes like crazy right now and twitching to the side because I have Tourette's. And so sometimes that throws my chain of thought, which is actually the #1 reason. Like I don't think I would have done any face cam stuff to begin with, just because I don't like face cams. When I watch people do face cams, it's just like, that's the quickest way to get me to not watch things. If you're doing, say, a face cam while reviewing a PC or a handheld system that I want to know about, I don't care about your ugly stinking mug, even if it's a good-looking stinking mug. I don't care. I just want to know the info. But apparently there's a lot of people that like to see the face cam and like to know who it is that's presenting this stuff. I totally could use it as an excuse, but it would not... Twitch and YouTube's terms of services wouldn't accept that excuse, even if they believed me. Fortunately, everyone's wrong about how Tourette's works. Like, I love it when they depict it in Tourette's. I love it when they depict Tourette's in movies, and I'm just like, that's really not what that is, and they've got it wrong, but it's funny that they've got it wrong. I'm definitely not offended by the portrayal of it in movies. A lot of people these days, again, tend to get offended at, oh, I have that problem, and that's not how it really is at all. But I think it's hilarious to be, like, in the know of something that nobody else really gets, and they get it that wrong, and it's just like, yeah, it's great that people think that's what Tourette's is. But yeah, so one of my friends was like, well, you could do a face, or no, it wasn't a friend. Someone came into a chat one time, or left a YouTube comment, I think. It was like, why don't you just do a face cam instead of this VTuber stuff? Which immediately to me was just like, but I like VTuber stuff. I mean that's the biggest reason, is because I love anime and I love the VTuber look. I know a lot of it's gone 3D, which I still think is cool. I like the 2D models better. But, I mean, I would totally do 3D stuff at some point if I could put together the equipment and do, like, the full arm movement and everything, just to be able to do... Like then I could do flips. I'm a ninja, I can do this stuff. I would probably break my neck live on stream, but whatever. Am I gonna buy you a sub for your channel? I don't have subs. I'm not a paid... I'm not a Twitch affiliate, and I don't have any subscription tiers. So, I can't. You have full access to everything I do. I'll tell you what. I'll give you my blessing. Yes, it would... No, I haven't looked into all of the stuff that you can do on Twitch, like gift subs and everything, because I would not mind doing this to make pocket cash, but I wasn't in it for that. If I feel like I can devote more time to it at any point, I probably will, and I'll definitely have someone do the work for me and be a mod. But until that time comes, yeah, just keep me in mind, I guess. It probably won't be anytime soon. I have a lot of work that I do. I don't even know if I can mod you until... I don't know. I'll look into it. If I can do mods without being, like, a Twitch affiliate or whatever you have to do... Like, I don't know how any of this works. I'll figure it out later, and I'll totally take a mod. But you can never kick Kept Silent. That's a hard rule. I'm going to give him administrator privileges. Maybe I can, but I don't actually have Twitch open. I have the pop-out chat open, and I have actually still been scouring my Twitter to try and find... Oh wait, no, I was looking at Discord. No wonder I didn't find it. Oh my god, I'm old. I was looking at Twitter to see if I could find the Deedlit pic, because I've got it on there somewhere. You need to average 3? Is that it? I always thought it was like 25 or something. Alright, let's see. Let me bring up Twitch. It's something like 1,000 on YouTube. It's a lot less on Twitch, but it's also probably harder to do that on Twitch. YouTube's algorithm is better for finding stuff. See, why do I know this stuff and I don't even know how to set up a Twitch? Alright. New Microsoft Edge window. Yes, I am using Microsoft Edge. Before you say anything, the only reason that's the case is because I use Brave browser, and my links for YouTube are different than the ones on Edge, and so I was just like, I'll just make all my login stuff automatic on Edge for my Twitch stuff so I don't have to deal with this. And now, having said that, I'm sure someone already has all my passwords. Okay, you're gonna hear my voice for a second here. Okay, you're gonna hear my voice for a second. There we go. Okay, there. Oh man, Mako Fukasame is on. She's a cool VTuber. She's a shark VTuber, and she's from Australia, and she likes a certain shark, and she talks about computer programming and food and other cool stuff. I guess she teaches programming or something. You know Mako? Oh wait, who is Tio Braun? Is that who you're talking about? All right, settings. The reason I don't want to make you a mod is because I don't want you to feel obligated to anything. Like, if bots show up, I don't want you to feel like you have to... Oh, Tio... Okay, I'll look him up. I will check him out. Let's see, how am I going to remember to do that? I mean, I'm going to have to review this video anyway, so it's cool. Oh, okay, you just want the status. Okay, let's see. I will manage moderation settings. That must be it. No, I don't know how to do this. Moderation. Okay, I'm in the wrong thing probably. Back to channel. Pause again. I don't know. I really don't know anything about it. You know what? I'm going to delay this. I know a few people that are a bit bigger in VTubing than I am, because I'm at the very bottom, so like basically anyone I know is a step above. But I know some people who know the ins and outs of this stuff. I'm just going to ask them what I need to do and how to do all the modding stuff, because I'm lazy and it would take me 5 seconds to read a FAQ, and I just don't. Good God, how long have I been streaming? Oh, only 2 hours? I guess I started later than I thought. I looked at the clock and I was like, it's like getting close to my bedtime. I'm sorry, Nick Bounty. We'll play more of you tomorrow. Let's see, what? I'll figure it out later. I will make you a mod. I'm going to ask someone else how to do it and, like, not be distracted by trying to do it. You will have that status symbol. I will make both you and Kept Silent mods. And neither of you will be obligated to do any actual moderating. Yeah. You're officially the second most regular person that's been in here. So between you and Kept Silent, I mean, who else is worthy? But if you see my brother in here, just kick him out. Kick him right out. Huh. We can go to war. He can kick me out of his Discord. That's good stuff. Alright, well, I want to end this on a funny note, but I don't quite want to quit yet either. I'm still having fun. I'm like digging around in the old coconut trying to think of other funny things to talk about before I hang up the coat of justice. I don't even know what metaphor I was trying to mix there. Official Lady Ophelia. I might have watched that. I might have watched Ophelia before. I know I've watched N Ophelia. I don't know if it's that one. But yeah, I will look up Ophelia and Tio Bron. And I will see what they got. Definitely not. Like, I definitely did not watch Ophelia. If it's not on Twitch, if it's a YouTube VTuber, I probably haven't. Because I've only really watched indie VTubers on Twitch. I've never caught any on YouTube. I've watched the popular ones on YouTube. Okay, well, I mean, I may have randomed into it. I don't know, unless it's an unseen one. Because I random into a lot of the ones I end up liking. Wait, here... Oh! Oh my god, that's one of the stories I got distracted from. It's one of the stories I got distracted from. How did I forget that? It was the point of talking about VTuber models and like, my model here. Yeah, I think the ears... I don't know, the ears might have been a template. I feel like I've seen them on other characters that were done by different artists before. And it's weird because you would think that that's indicative of, you know, people copy-pasting stuff. But when I had the male model done, the artist that did it showed me the preliminary sketches. So this person built this model from the ground up. I saw the work. So I guess that it was just like, maybe someone stole from her, or maybe people just really use very similar things, but I swear it's like picture perfect on other characters. I've seen these exact ears. But anyway, you might have noticed the giant tail on the other model. Well, I mean, I can bring it up. Why do I have to just... I'm a writer. I use words more than I use pictures. Yeah, so we got the tail here. And I didn't even realize it when I bought this model, but it was a white tiger, and so the other one is a tailless white tiger. And yes, that too. That is, we're gonna make that part of the lewd lore. There's gonna be a separate lewd lore from the book I'm gonna write, because I don't write lewd books. I write fun action comedy books. So I might put a joke about that in there, though. I might have to. But I'm totally cool with anyone making lewd comments about it. Wasn't it Coco that started that? I think it was Coco that started that. Coco is still my favorite VTuber ever. Coco and Pikami. I can't believe my two favorites that I started watching independently of each other ended up at the same company working together. And, I mean, I think that's cool and all. I also think that they were better as Coco and Pikami, but they're still cool. But yeah, I didn't realize it at the time, but these were white tigers. And the ninja school that I belonged to was the White Tiger Ninja School. Good old Byakko Kai. And I don't know why it didn't click, but that almost derailed my desire to go with a Kung Fu upgrade. Because I was like, but they're the same ninjas I am if I put them in ninja outfits. But I also feel like Kung Fu outfits would look cooler as VTubers. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that. And I really don't understand what the problem is with the... I have to be like tilting my head up and looking at the camera to get the mouth to move right. I spent so much time getting the timing to match the way I move my mouth with these things. But then, like, one of the models works properly, and then another one I have to recalibrate, so it gets hard to switch between them and do this. And I don't know what we were talking about again. I got distracted again. I could literally just make an entire clip video of the times I got distracted in this one video. Yeah, and as a fan of old anime stuff, too, when I ended up with having two models, because I initially did streams with this model, and when I had the other one in as a work in progress while I was doing this stuff. So when I got to the point where I had the new one, I was like, well, I don't want to ditch this one entirely. So I decided that I would just occasionally do a Ranma 1/2 thing with them, which is just going to be a part of the book. So these characters kind of have a story that I've only briefly mentioned on here before, but I think my favorite part of the entire lore is that the reason this model has this voice is because after entering the digital realm and getting stuck in this body, I was depressed. And I was thinking of doing that if I ever had anyone join me that didn't have one. I was just like, here, just use this. I think that would be funny. But yeah, like, this character has my voice because she smoked a lot because she was depressed, and it was the only way to stave off the depression after falling into a digital time vortex. So yeah, she got really depressed, smoked a lot, and now has a scratchy dude voice. Yeah, I picked this model specific... Well, no, I think I mentioned that. This model had a lot going on in terms of, like, colorful things jumping out at you. And instead of just having a male model that was in a hoodie, I was like, hey, artist, can you make this, make a male version of this? And I got my cool male model with the Twinkie glasses removal. I actually requested those glasses specially when I ordered that model. So it was, like, automatically linked in a way that I could take them off and on when I received it. Got sad and hit the deck. I should just make it progressively worse, like went from cigarettes to tobacco chew, and we'll throw a little cocaine in there at some point, which I think I have to have a label on Twitch to even bring that up, but too bad, so sad I missed that opportunity. This isn't monetized. I don't care. I literally wouldn't care if both my channels got kicked off of YouTube and Twitch. I would just go start something else or have fun in some other way. Yeah, this is fun. Well, you know what? I mean, I gotta say, it's nice to hear that. Okay, this mouth movement thing is driving me crazy. You get back in your box. That's better. I am not recalibrating for you, you cigarette addicted little wench. Yeah, I guess technically that makes me also heavy smoker muppy. I specifically used cigarettes out of spite. I don't smoke, but I miss the smoky bar smell of going to bars, the smoky bar smell of bars when I went to them, because I would go to bars to order food, and when that vanished because they said no more smoking indoors. No, I don't do anything actually. I am as straight edge as a razor. I do not do I don't even drink. I have had less than 6 ounces of alcohol my entire life, which is how you end up doing things like this. But no, I absolutely hate the smell of weed, and that's one of the things that made me angry about smoky bar rooms disappearing, because I liked the smell of cigarette smoke, and everyone had a problem. They were like, oh, it's secondhand smoke, it's causing this problem, it's causing that problem. Nobody seems to care about the secondhand smoke from weed, and people equally don't care that it smells like a skunk everywhere you go shopping now. And that's also kind of funny, because according to... was it my mother that told me? Or someone I know told me that that stuff did not smell that bad when they were younger. Like, unless it was really bad, like, most of it didn't have that bad of a smell. I cannot stand the smell. And everyone does it now. You cannot have an apartment and not smell that. It's just someone in your apartment is going to be smoking it. And at the very least, if you're lucky enough to have people in your immediate apartment vicinity that don't do it, it'll be a hangout area for the people that do right outside your window. Are there not smoking bars or restaurants? I don't think there are. I mean, there's definitely none that you can do. Like you have to go outside everywhere, at least in the state of Michigan. Casinos are like the last place I know of that you can smoke indoors. I really don't know anywhere else that you can. And like, you have to go to the specific tiny, cramped smoking room for the casino. So the solution that they had for secondhand smoke being such a bad thing was, instead of letting it ventilate in a wider open area in a gigantic casino, the solution is to cram everyone into a single room, so that all of that smoke that... they probably ventilate those rooms to keep it from getting out into the main areas that much, because you don't really smell it near the rooms, but somewhere in there there's mixed air. Maybe it's not all you're probably not getting secondhand smoke in the casino proper. But in that room, you're getting a ton of it, which is probably way worse than it would have been at any restaurant that has proper ventilation or in a gigantic casino. Yeah, Japan probably... I mean, we're talking about... This is American law. It's probably been 2 decades or so since the law was passed where you can't really have people smoking in restaurants. Because, I think even... It was still sometime after I was out of high school. You could still... there were still smoking areas in restaurants. But they took them all away. They were like... They kept crapping on smokers more and more and more. Raising the taxes on them. Changing the places where you couldn't smoke. Get 100 feet away from a building. No good access to parking lots. So if you were a smoker... to this day, if you're a smoker staying at a big hotel, it's like, oh, I have to walk half a mile to get outside to the smoking area where they even have an ashtray I can use. And they'll charge you a huge fine if you smoke in your room. To be fair, at least that one, they sort of enforce that one on both ends. You're not supposed to smoke weed in rooms either, so they will penalize those people too. But it just seems like they completely allow smoking of weed anywhere, but smoking a cigarette is just like, oh, that's a huge taboo. I don't know if you can. You might be able to. You might be able to smoke in VFWs. I haven't been to one in a couple months. I've never really paid attention because I'm usually there to eat a hamburger. I'm trying to remember if I saw ashtrays at them. But they might have kicked smokers out of there too. I really am not sure. I'm desperately I've been to a handful of them. I'm desperately trying to remember if they had ashtrays in them recently. I mean, it could also be a thing that you need to ask for an ashtray. I've been to one recently. My dad is a Legion member, and when we go out, every once in a while, when we want to go out for food, we will get VFW burgers, and it's a little less expensive than anywhere else, a little better of an atmosphere, and there's a couple around where I live that have good locations. But yeah, I'm really not sure. I'm a big fan of VFWs. I actually, my dad told me I can get a some kind of like membership card as a son of a veteran to visit the one he's got his membership at if I ever want to. And I keep meaning to do that, but I always forget about it. So I have to remember that one day. It's going to be so hard if I ever pay attention to the lore that I wrote for these characters for me to stay in character and keep the lore, because I talk about things that I do in my personal life all the time. But it'll be fun to see if I can actually improv that if I actually do that. Yeah, you have to have a membership to get into a... Well, wait. I don't know if there's a difference between VFW and American Legion. Or maybe... I don't know, but like... So, like, the way I understand it is you're a member at one specific place, but that membership grants you access to the other places if you're actually a veteran. If you're just the son of a veteran, you can have a membership to that one place where your parents were a member. Yeah, so I'm really not 100% sure on the smoking situation in those places. I will definitely remember to pay attention next time, though. But it is really annoying to think that, like, first off, we're talking like 30s and 40s. People were being told to smoke, that it was good for them. Turn people into a bunch of addicts. Make it a cool habit that younger people get into because their parents did it. And the next thing you know, it's taxed through the roof. And, oh, by the way, go take a half-a-mile hike with your smoker's lung if you actually want to find a place to smoke. It's like, ooh, and that's the same people that will pretend to care about other members of society. It's just atrocious. Like people treat each other like dirt, and half the time they think that they're in the right for doing it. The same people that will say, oh, well, I believe in this because, these people need help, and we should treat them specially. They're the people that, like, sneer when they walk through smoke that someone else is smoking when they could have walked 5 feet around to avoid it. They're the absolute worst. Those people are the pits. Well, there's an old saying. I can't believe I pulled that one out. The pits. When was the last time I heard anyone say that? Circa 1487. Well, God, I don't want to end on such a down note, though, like talking about how much I hate the whole smoking problem. I am a ranter at heart. Kept Silent will attest to this as well. I can rant about college, I can rant about Microsoft, I've done it all before. I rant about school incessantly, and I rant about the movie The Keep, which Kept Silent brought up earlier and I completely forgot about, but I'm not going to even get started on that. I'm glad they're fun. I always thought I was a good ranter, but I don't ask for feedback on my ranting, so I'm never 100% sure. Like, I have had times where I have ranted to my friends for hours at a time and just been like, hey guys, I've been talking this whole time. Does anyone want to like chime in? And, you know, I don't actually ask people if they thought it was funny or anything, but you know, I go back sometimes and watch when I do rants. It's like, you know, I kind of like it. I'll make a clip of it or something. I had a little 2-minute one I did about videos being played on digital game stores that don't show you any of the game footage. And I immediately made a clip of that one and put it up on YouTube. I loved that one. Your rant about depressing shows threw me off guard and made me laugh. Is that what I did last time? Last time you were in... Wheneth we first met, wheneth I became the myopic twink. It's kind of sad because I like movies. I'm not sure how many other people are like this. I like books more than movies and comic books. But I also like movies a lot, and I like movies more than comic books. So comic books are my least favorite of those three. I actually hardly ever read comic books. And I should make a heckling badge waifu to stick on my character. I need to start like adding things that make it a bit more visually fun. Again, though, I rely mostly on words to do the things I want to do. The whole VTuber thing is just an added bonus, but I can try and make it more fun. I should at least be able to get it to do a flip. Was it last year? Oh no, I misread the chat. I thought it was Atomic Red Ready or Atomic Red 1. I thought it was Atomic that said your rant about depressing shows, and so my first thought was, wait, didn't he just show up for like the first time in my last thing? I thought he was talking about that. So yeah, maybe it was over a year ago. I can't really remember what you were saying about it, but it's just kind of sad that movies have gotten so bad that even I don't go to theaters now. Like, I would go to theaters for bad movies if I could still get entertainment out of them. No, I'm not ignoring it. Your name is now Atomic Redone. That's your name now. You're version 2. It's no longer Atomic Red, it's Atomic Redone. I think I love that essentially myopic and dyslexic. Atomic deflected with myopic dyslexic. I almost messed it up there. She sells seashells by the seashore. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't Fuzzy Wuzzy. I'm not as good at that as I used to be. ZYXWVUTSRQPONMLKJHGFEDCBA. Dyslopic. I like that. It's got the slop. You put the slop in dyslopic. Man, we got weird tonight, didn't we? Or this morning, or whatever it is. Actually, this is probably going to be one of the dumbest videos I have, but it's the most fun I've had doing one probably since I started. I think I enjoy the chatting more. I think overall people, like anyone that takes the time to watch, probably enjoys the games more. With the exception of, you know, you guys who seem to be having a lot of fun with the chatting part. That's another thing, like, I don't know if I could do this the way the pros do it, because I have enough of a hard time getting distracted. I couldn't keep up with the chat if it was moving too fast. Like, I know it's got that slowdown feature. That would make the comedic timing harder probably, for any jokes I want to tell. But yeah, I would change subjects way too much if there was like 50 different chats flying past me. Even if it was like a small amount of people in here throwing a lot of stuff up, I'd miss a lot of what people were saying, and so I wouldn't be able to land everything properly. And if things were moving at light speed, I just don't know how I would keep up. Even with the slowdown, it's like there's 500 messages here. Fortunately, I'm not that entertaining, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm not going to put in the effort to become anything big or anything, for reasons I've mentioned. But I will keep flopping the ears and blinking the eyes, because I can't help that. And I forgot what I was going to say about movies. This is just me having Alzheimer's video. I'm the definition of boomer moment in this entire video, and I'm not even a boomer. Or wait, where does it fall? 1981, I think, is millennial still. But I definitely feel older than most people that consider themselves millennials. Yes, the depressing movies. Again, a thing that came out of Mystery Science Theater. The people who really go hard on bad movies and criticize them really deeply and try to make, like, tons of really good points about why they dislike the movie. I love that stuff, and a lot of times it's been more entertaining than even going to see the movies that are bad and just laughing at how bad they are, because they're not even laughably bad anymore. They're just straight up, like, it's... I don't feel like the people that are doing it care. Like they don't want to make a movie. Like, I could understand if you made bad movies, you just weren't good at it, but you had your heart in it. There's a lot of really bad movies out there that have a lot of heart in them. I mean, I'm a big fan of Godzilla movies, even the ones that's, you know, Godzilla's the good guy fighting other monsters. Those are really cheesy. But a lot of them, some of them don't. Some of them are missing that heart. See, some of them you could tell it's just like, no, we had to put out another Godzilla movie. But a lot of them just have a... It's like, this is corny and goofy, and now Godzilla's sliding on his tail to hit Megalon with his feet, and I just love it. Why did Jet Jaguar grow to 100 times his size? I don't know, but he did that. It's fun. And the movies today, I was talking with my friend. We were doing our writing podcast, and somehow we always end up talking about movies and anime on our writing podcast. And we were talking about the characters in Star Wars The Force Awakens, my initial experience coming out of that theater. I feel like, I want to say that was like the starting point of the downfall of modern movies, that exact movie. It was either that or the first Godzilla Legendary Pictures movie. You know, those movies actually got better, though. Like, I liked the later ones as opposed to that Godzilla movie. But the Star Wars movies, I got out of the theater. All my other friends had enjoyed it. I remember going into it and being pumped for it, thinking, oh boy, I'm going to enjoy a new Star Wars movie after all this time. And the first couple moments, it's like, it's got that Star Wars look to it. It's got that Star Wars feel to it. And then things started happening. It's like, I don't understand where they're going with this, but I'm sure it's going somewhere. And as the movie went on, it just kept going and kept going and kept going, and then nothing the characters were doing was making any sense. And then out of nowhere, one character was a Jedi for no reason. And I got done with that movie, and I told everyone else, I was like, I didn't really like it that much. And they were like, oh, they thought it was great. They're like, yeah, it's a good Star Wars movie. Can't wait to see where they're going with the sequel. LOL. Boy, did that escalate quickly, you know. But my conclusion, shortly after watching that movie, was that these were not characters. Like, the people that wrote them did not write them to be characters. They wrote them to be vessels for ideology that they wanted to put in the movies. And not like, that movie wasn't even that bad about browbeating you with it. But the way they wrote those characters was just, they are a vessel. However I want a character to do something, or whatever I want them to say at that moment to get something ideological across, that's what they're going to do. Developing the character doesn't matter. Having them on a story arc that will reach completion does not matter. And I don't think I was wrong in that assessment, having gone through the next two movies. And it's just depressing that, you know, it got to that state where I couldn't even go and see a movie and be like, it was bad. It was a bad movie, but, you know, between the experience, the popcorn, the hot pretzel, the soda, whatever I'm eating, and just laughing at how bad it was, I got my money's worth out of it. I stopped getting my money's worth out of these movies, and I just couldn't go back. And when the whole COVID thing happened, when theaters shut down and everything, I used to go to a movie at least like once a month or once every other month, at least, even if it, you know, it was just like, well, this probably isn't that good, but I got nothing better to do. I was a movie goer, maybe a lighter, I mean, some people only go to like 1 or 2 movies a year. I'd say I was a pretty decent moviegoer. And I stopped going during COVID, and I never really went back. I've seen 2 movies at the theater in the past 6 years, and they were both Godzilla movies. One of them was good, one of them was not. And the one that wasn't was not that bad. I didn't really care for it that much compared to other Godzilla movies. It was the Godzilla, the second Legendary Pictures one. Or no, not that one. The third one, the King Kong Godzilla one. I didn't think it was all that great a movie. I was a bit entertained by it when they got away from whatever crazy things the people were doing that didn't make sense. But my brother put it best. He said that movie wasn't so much a Godzilla movie as it was King Kong's D&D quest. That's what it, and he was right. I went and watched it after he told me that, and I was like, yeah, that was like someone putting King Kong through a Dungeons and Dragons quest. Yeah, that was his campaign. The other movie I saw was just recently, the newest, well, not the newest, but Godzilla -1. That movie was fantastic. And those were the only 2 movies I saw after COVID started. So I really haven't been going to movies for years. And it is sad because I used to watch bad movies and I would get some enjoyment out of them by coming home and doing a podcast with a friend or no, YouTube videos. We did YouTube videos. Yes, it does. You can picture him sitting in that throne and like shaking his hand and tossing the dice out. It's like made of like ancient Godzilla skulls or something, which is nonsense because everyone knows, and even that movie knew that King Kong couldn't beat Godzilla. Like they had to give an axe and everything, and he still couldn't get the job done. But I used to do movie reviews with the same friend that I do the writing podcast with, and he would call them half-blind reviews because he wasn't that much of a moviegoer. So I would watch a bad movie, like the 2014 RoboCop or the Lost World movies, and I would come back and we would sit down and I would talk to him about the dumb things that happened in those movies, and it was really fun. So these really bad movies kind of still have that going for them, where there's still an audience for the people that are going to make fun of them on YouTube channels for other people to watch for their entertainment. And to me, this is just like the new Mystery Science Theater 3000. I know that people put a lot of effort into it, and we don't... Do we need to reboot Mothra? If we reboot Mothra, does she just become a caterpillar again? I don't... We might... Are we going to get a Mothra movie? They really want to sell this whole Universal... not Universal, Legendary Pictures Monsters universe, the Godzilla Cinematic Universe or whatever thing. Mothra versus Mothman. I would pay money to see Mothra versus Mothman. But yeah, I think that the problem with movies going forward is that people are just going to stop spending the money, and so there won't even be any new movies worth anyone making fun of even on YouTube, because it's just going to be like that is already kind of getting stale, where the movies are so bad it's just like people have been over the problems with the writing again and again and again, and it's just not changing, and people are not going, and they're just going to make the movies cheaper and cheaper, but they're not going to make the writing any better until they're so broke that they have no choice and not enough money to do anything but make movies with, you know, good dialogue and good writing, because it's the only way you'll be able to get people to come back to the theaters. And you won't be able to afford fancy special effects, so it'll have to be really, really good dialogue and writing. Yeah, I can't bring myself to go and watch them. And TV, I mean, Netflix, the Netflix Marvel stuff started so strong with Daredevil. Everything from the first Daredevil was downhill. And I waited for years. Oh, we're going to have to. I mean, these studios, they're going to have to revert to old-style movie making because they're not going to have the money to do anything but really light sets and dialogue-driven stories. That's just how it's going to be. Everything is going to... They're going to have to make, like, 12 Angry Men or something. You know, they'll have a bit of money for practical effects and maybe a bit of CG here and there. And you can do good things with that. I mean, I guess The Shadow isn't a good example. That was a big-budget movie. But that was a movie that did very little with CG, but what it did, it made the movie, you know, it made it a little better. The whole movie itself wasn't reliant on CG, because it was from, what was it, 1994 that movie was made? CG was still pretty young, and a lot of it was still camera tricks. And that movie, that's my favorite superhero movie. It's just a fantastic movie from start to finish. I love pretty much all the lines in the movie were good. And they wouldn't be able to make it today because they would just have the Shadow vanishing and reappearing in front of a green screen. The dialogue would be sloppy. You know, nobody knows how to write dialogue between heroes and villains anymore. It's all got to be catchy one-liners like the Marvel movies became. Yes. Wait, which tick? Because there's several, and I would, for my money, the best one was the old Fox Television live-action one. The second best one was the cartoon. And the least favorite, which I still thought was okay, was the Amazon one. The newest one, yeah, I enjoyed it for a bit. It felt a little boring in places. The guy that played the Tick definitely did not nail the character as well as Patrick Warburton, but I feel like he tried. Patrick Warburton nailed the role so well. It just... I can't picture anyone as the Tick but him, and he's too old to play the Tick now. He wouldn't be a good match, and he could barely move in the costume at the time as it was. It would not be easy for him to do it today, so they'd have to find someone who could really capture Patrick Warburton energy. And I don't know if I've ever heard of anyone like that. Like, he's really a singular actor. You know who he is immediately when you hear his voice, of course. And, you know, who's like, what's his name? Brock Samson and Joe from Family Guy. And he's a pretty big guy in real life, too. Like, they couldn't have picked a better actor to play the Tick. He's got that, you know, he's got that chin and everything. But the newest one, I liked what they were doing with it, but they didn't quite nail the comedy. It wasn't, they didn't capture a lot of the jokes that had been done before and done better. They got a few things. The opening episode where he lifts up that door at the marina or wherever he is, the shipping center. He like rips it up, and there's all these guys with machine guns, and he just has this absolute psychotic happy laughter as they're opening fire on him and the bullets are bouncing off, and he just starts tossing them around. I got a pretty good laugh at that part, because it's just like, oh, the Tick is an absolute psycho. It's great. They made parts of it just... They kind of did a good job of making parts of it just serious enough to where you could take what's happening semi-seriously so that the story could progress. But everything was still the ridiculous Tick universe. Like, the biggest bad guy in that universe is a geriatric supervillain. And he's got a very raspy voice in that. They made him a lot more threatening in that than he was in the cartoon or the old live-action show. But the... Oh, yeah, that's, yeah, he's a great voice actor, in my opinion. I don't know if that's just because he always manages to get roles that really fit his own personality or what. Because there are people like that. There's people that just, like, you hear their voice and it's like, yep, that's the role you get, because that's what you'll be able to do perfectly. But, I mean, he was on Family Guy for years. He had to do all the comedic timing jokes. Comedic timing is one of the best indicators to me, of whether someone can really handle acting or not. And he totally can. You know, he did Brock Samson totally in a comedy show, but he's like the most serious character in that show. And so line delivery when you're the serious character in a comedy show is very important. You're playing the straight man to everyone else's fool. You've got to land those lines, otherwise the joke doesn't hit correctly. I saw this problem a lot. There was an animated movie for the Discworld novel Weird Sisters. And while I liked it as a movie itself, the jokes from the book, almost none of them landed correctly because of the timing. And so it wasn't quite the experience I would tell people to get if they wanted to experience the books. I would tell them to watch it after they read the books because I did like it. But if they saw the cartoon first, it would be hard to convince them to watch the books or to read the books probably. So yeah, that's what I think of The Tick and Patrick Warburton. And also Discworld is awesome. I would definitely say if you haven't seen it, try and find the old Fox live-action Tick. The whole thing is a metaphor for gay couples. It's absolutely 100% hilarious because everything that's happening in the show, they're talking about it like it's all superhero duos. The Tick and Arthur as a duo living together in an apartment, and there's like a coming out episode where Arthur has to tell his mother about his crime fighting partner, and it's just playing out like a gay man coming out to his family. It's absolutely hilarious. There's this episode where they meet another duo that that one plays out as like a gay couple in a domestic abuse relationship. It's very funny. Like, the comedy in it is just... I really don't know what my favorite part would be. Probably, there's a character in it called Batmanuel, who's like... everyone knows him, but everyone laughs at him. He's like... nobody takes him seriously as a superhero because he's kind of a screw-up, but he has the best lines in the entire show. He's always trying to impress women in the show, and he's always doing things that are just a little bit off from what a normal person would do in any situation. He's always telling Arthur, he's giving him advice on dating and things. It's really good. Yeah, I fully recommend watching that show. It's only 12 episodes, but they're 12 of the best episodes I've ever seen on television, comedy-wise. Probably one of the last great sitcoms, and it just never had its day. Am I talking too long about this? I don't even care anymore. Where I am, it is 6:30 in the morning. I've been at this for 2.5 hours. I've been talking about movies and everything. Do we have any last words? Have we learned anything today? Did I put you both to sleep? Well, thank you. We aims to please. Which made me think of Popeye, which made me think of Wimpy, which made me think of Wimpy's Burgers, which is leading me to another talk about how much I like food. Okay, no, I'm done with that. That's how my brain works in those moments. You got a glimpse. Alright, well, I guess I can go ahead and say arrivederci, which I believe is foreign language for something. No, I can do better than this. What's a better goodbye? I don't know. I'm losing. I'm losing it. I'm panicking. I was never here. Clark Kent. I'm out. Peace, everyone.